I'm Emma, and this is Yelf Sessions, and I'm here with Rue. Hello.
Hi.
Hey. It's really awesome to have you in the studio. How did the whole music thing start for you? How did you know that this was something that you wanted to do?
Well, basically, it started when I was born because legend has it that I used to imitate the birds in my crib. So I just sing along. And then when I was 3 years old, I literally pestered my parents to have piano lessons. They said, no, you're too young. But I annoyed them so much that I managed to have piano lessons since I was 3. So.
Wow. What kind of stuff do you learn when you're 3 on the piano?
Well, basically, my teacher was a classical music teacher, so I learned everything from Bach, Chopin.
At 3?
At 3.
That's insane. I was thinking more like nursery rhyme vibes, but sure.
Well, yeah. I started off with those, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So is that something that you've carried on? Because I've noticed, obviously, that you've brought in a guitar as opposed to a piano.
Because it's a lot more portable to bring a guitar.
So in terms of writing music, you'd incorporate both?
Yeah, I write music on both. I think when I write music on the piano, it's a lot more melancholic, I'd say, than on the guitar. On the guitar, it's way more funky. So
nice. So going back to the piano lessons and the Bach and the Chopin, what happened after that?
What happened after that? So basically, my teacher got very mad at me because I didn't like to read the notation.
Yeah, the music.
Yeah, the music. So basically, I would ask her to play the songs, and I would learn the songs by ear, and then I'd just copy them. So
naughty.
Very naughty. And it got to the point where I just started getting bored, and I just said, I want to learn new things. I started composing stuff on the piano, like more Michael Nyman kind of soundtracky stuff.
Wow.
And then I got into...
This is the 3?
This was about when I was 6, 7.
Okay.
I was very lucky because, my grandfather used to play blues piano. Wow. And he listened to a lot of jazz, so I got a lot of influences when I was very young. And and then when I was 5, I stole my brother's Offspring CD, and I started listening to a lot more rock music, funk, Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff. So it just went everywhere from there. Amazing.
So, in terms, would you say that all of those bands and artists have influenced your music as it is today?
Definitely, all of them. That's why it's so hard to, define my style, because one day I'll be writing something that sounds a lot more rock bluesy, and another day I'll just be writing something that's a lot more soul, and it just varies. So
there's something really awesome about your music that makes me want to get on a beach with a cocktail and just totally chill out. The times that I listen to your music in London, I've almost forgotten that it's raining out the window.
Oh, that's so good.
Because you kind of send yourself to this exotic place, wherever that might be, and I guess for every person it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really happy. Cool. That's definitely the sign of a good tune, I would say.
Thank you.
So going back to you being 5 and liking Offspring and other artists, how did you know, from a writer's perspective, that was something that you wanted to do and that was something that you could explore?
Music.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the turning point for me was when I gave up playing music. So I kind of thought that I had to do something else out of my life because everyone was telling me, don't do it, and the whole drill. So I started studying design at university.
Wow.
Because I like industrial design, and I just quit music for the first year, and I was just so sad.
Oh.
But yeah, that's at that point I just made a decision. A friend called me up asking me if I wanted to start a band. We did. The band was really bad. It was good fun. And from then on, I started having guitar lessons, and then the guitar teacher got an MP3 from a friend of mine. He heard my voice, and he was a very big guitar guy in Portugal at the time. Oh. And he invited me to be the lead singer of his band, and it all just spiraled from there. All I want is a clean slate. Is that too much to ask? Distance from the past. See, I never wanted it to be this way, but it whirled by so fast. See, I never intended it to be this way. All I have is all I've left to say. What got lost along the way. Wish I could bring it back someday with a clean slate. Start all over again. Pretend I never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive hook. Wish it could let me be all I've intended, know what you wanted from me. I don't wish to be you. In fact, that's the last thing I'd want to do. Never mind your qualities. I don't want to be anything less than free. It's all I want to be, and now I realize it won't set in my eyes. I want to fly, but my wing has been clipped. How am I supposed to get it fixed? new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive food. Right. I wish I'd gone left. I wish I'd flown. I wish I'd left. I wish I had nothing left to wish except counting my blessings and being a bore or crippled by a sharp comfort. I wasn't aware. It cut the regret. What's next? You try to move on, but you never forget. No, see, I never intended it to be this way. All I have is all I've left to say. What I lost along the way. Wish I could bring it back someday with a clean slate. Start all over again. Pretend it never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive. Can I get a clean slate? Start all over again. Pretend it never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive. So can I get a clean slate? Start all over again. Pretend it never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive. Can I get a clean slate? Start all over again. Pretend it never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive. Can I get a clean slate? A clean slate. So can I get a clean slate? No. So can I get a clean slate? So can I get a clean slate? So can I get a clean slate? Start all over again. Pretend it never happened. Let me begin with a clean slate. A new page in the book. No vices or patterns, no repetitive. Can I get a
The Alpha Sessions.
So you're from Portugal originally?
I grew up in Portugal. My dad's British, mum's Spanish and Portuguese.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how would you compare the Portuguese music industry to the British one?
Wow, that's a tough question. So
from your experience, anyway.
From my experience, the Portuguese music industry is very, very small because it's a very small country, and like any industry, they're very concerned with stuff that's actually going to sell. So there's not much space or room to have different kinds of artists, even though we have amazing bands from Portugal and amazing musicians. In that sense, I find it very different from London, where you can go to a festival and you'll hear something that you've never ever heard before, and it doesn't really get played on the radio, but there's room for everything here, which is great.
And what there isn't in Portugal?
Not if you want to play at festivals, really. I mean, there are a couple of festivals that do, but they're more specifically like alternative festivals.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas here you can hear a bit of everything in any kind of festival, I find.
Is that why you chose to do the move?
I chose to do the move because I released a single and it was playing more on UK radio stations than it was in Portugal, so I thought...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. And I've always wanted to. I mean, London's always been the city I wanted to live in, so...
But you still get to travel around other European countries and do music stuff like Amsterdam and Spain and Portugal and I think Germany as well, right?
I have been to Germany, but I haven't performed there yet.
Ah, okay. So how you must be incredible at keeping your fingers in lots of pies, for want of a better word, to keep that going and being able to live here but also be able to travel out there and perform. How do you do all of that at once?
I have no idea. I don't sleep, basically.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I've got, like I mentioned before, I've got a lot of bands set up. Yeah. Like, I do a little bit of everything, and I've got a business set up, too, where I do that. Yeah. And we'll play any style of music, and so it's just, between that, managing my personal career, managing my websites, it's... Yeah, I don't know.
And then add into the mix, just being available on social media, so much, which you were saying before is so important to a musician nowadays.
Yes, definitely, very important. It can be very time consuming, but what I find helps a little bit is if you sort of try to plan your posts. Yeah. So that will help, have the week sorted.
So if you were a up-and-coming musician, what tips would you give them in terms of being able to do what you do and cram it all in and use social and get your fingers in all the pies? What kind of advice would you give them?
The biggest advice I would give to an upcoming musician is play as much as you can and meet as many people as possible. because that's what it's all about in the end, is you creating your music, and you essentially want to connect with other people. You want other people to like your music, to feel good when they listen to it. So if you play as much as possible, more people are going to get the chance to listen to your music. You're going to be able to connect with them. You're going to potentially create fans, and that's how it works. It's all about that. Music.
Now, in addition to having your fingers in all those pies, you've also got an upcoming EP coming out.
Yes, I do.
Are we allowed to know what it's called? Has it got a name yet?
I'm not really sure. I was thinking of calling it About Time, but that's the name of one of my tracks, so I might change it. So
okay. And in terms of like timeline, when can we expect that to come out?
Well, hopefully by the end of the summer.
Nice.
Fingers crossed.
Do we know how many tracks they're going to be on it?
I'd say about 5.
Okay, cool. And are they tracks that you've written specially for the EP? Are they ones that you've kind of had up your sleeve for a while? Like, what's the deal?
There are a few that I've had up my sleeve for a while, but there are a couple of new tracks because I've defined my sound a lot more, which is something that was very hard for me to do previously. So yeah, you can expect that. How do
you go about defining your sound? Like, what's the process? Sorry, these are quite deep questions.
They're very deep questions. So for me was, well, I understand why you have to define your sound, because people have to see you and your image and your sound and everything and fit it into a package, because it's easier for like the brain to process pretty much. Yeah. And the thing that I decided to go for is because I have so many different influences and I like to create a different sound. So I like to incorporate a little bit of the stuff that I play in bossa nova with a little bit of funk and a little bit of rock here and there. So the way I found that was best to define my sound was just to associate with an artist or to an artist who also does that kind of style. So for me, it was Jamiroquai.
Yeah,
because they've got a little bit of all those influences.
Nice.
And but their base, I guess, would be funk kind of thing, funk pop. Well, now they've changed a little bit, but they used to be. Yeah, cool. But yeah, so that's for me. That was the easiest way to define my sound. Just basically go for a genre that's present in all the songs I write, which is mainly like soul funk, and then add the extra little bits in.
So you almost have to be like strict with yourself to keep to those boundaries, no?
When you're songwriting, which is something that I do also for other artists, I like to be free. So I like to just write, and if the song comes out in a way that I can use it in my album or my EP, then I'll use it. If not, I'll pitch it for another artist.
So you don't kind of start writing a song with, I don't know, a genre in mind or a box, like a theme in mind. It just kind of, you wait for it to come to you organically.
I like it when I like to wait for it to come to me, because I find that it flows a lot better when you do it that way. Yeah. However, there are other times when I do want to write. You know, I'm not particularly inspired or anything, so I'll make myself write, and I do have something in mind. So I'll start testing out like different riffs or different bass notes. Yeah.
And where do you get like the inspiration to write your songs from?
Everything, honestly. I can be like, I love people watching. So yeah. And are
you one of those people that can't sit at a table at a restaurant unless with your back to the window? Like, you have to be facing
exactly
the window.
Yeah,
I'm one of those too.
Yeah, I 100%. Can tell. Exactly. I'm super fidgety. Like, I'm on the tube and I'm literally doing this all the time, just looking at everyone. They probably think I'm crazy, but yeah.
There's this great game that I used to play on the tube about people watching, which I'll talk to you about afterwards.
All right. I look forward to hearing it. Girl, you're on my mind, but I need you to decide. Am I Mr. Wrong or Mr. Right? Do you want me in your life? It's driving me crazy to think you might not be my lady, but that would change. See, you could be the one that changes me, 'cause girl, you're amazing, and you'll never fail to amaze me. Now, wait patient, I'll wait for you till infinity. So let me show you the world, 'cause I'ma tell you, you are my girl. 'Cause I've got nothing, no nothing to hide, and I just want you in my life. Maybe I've been a fool, but I'm in love with you. For you, girl, I'll be true. Do whatever you want me to do. Can't help how I feel. Stand center the moon, 'cause you leave me wanting more. darling, tell me what's the score. 'Cause darling, tell me what the score is. Yeah. I'm gonna make you mine tonight. We can dance into the moonlight. And I promise you I'll never do anything to what you take a chance on me, my baby, won't you please? No, no, no. So let me show you the world, 'cause I'ma tell you you are my girl. 'Cause I've got nothing, no, nothing to hide. And I just want you in my life. 'Cause maybe I've been a fool, but I'm in love with you. For you, girl, I'll be true. Do whatever you want me to do. Can't help how I feel. Let's dance under the moon. 'Cause you leave me wanting more. But darling, tell me what's the score. 'Cause darling, tell me what's the. You leave me wanting more. But darling, tell me what's the. You leave me wanting more, 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 more. Won't you let me be free? Won't you let me see me? Won't you let me be? You leave me wanting more. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you leave me wanting more. But darling, tell me what's the. You leave me wanting more. But darling, tell me what's the. You leave me wanting more. But darling, tell me what's the score. Yeah.
The Alpha Sessions.
For you, like, where's the line in terms of covering a song exactly how the artist previously did it and making it your own? Like, is it your gut that kind of tells you that? Like, is there like an unwritten musician's rule? Like, how does it work?
How does it work? So for me, because I like to create, I don't like to, even when I perform at events and stuff like that, like, I don't like to play the songs exactly as they are. Otherwise, you're not adding anything different. I mean, you can play them exactly as they are, but maybe with your voice do a little bit of, difference here and there. But for me, is I can't do it that way, because otherwise I'm not expressing myself, if you know what I mean. So it's more natural to pick up a song and change up the chords, change up, the rhythm a little bit, and then sing it in a slightly more me way, if you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, so kind of like reflecting your personality
exactly
into the music, which is quite cool.
Yeah, Jamie Cullum does that a lot, which I love.
Yeah, amazing, so good. You've got quite a big kind of jazz, funk, soul vibe, I think, influenced into your music, which is quite cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I quite like that. But it's funny because when I was 14 and I first picked up the electric guitar, all I could listen to was rock. So I was just rock all day.
I'll be honest, like, if we're gonna listen or think about the tunes that you play, I can't hear any like Offspring in there or anything
Definitely
like that.
Not. That phase is gone.
Yeah. All right, cool. Just good to know.
Yeah.
So you've also won the Open Mic Charterhouse Award, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And a couple of other things. And I always kind of think when you win so many awards and you do so amazingly, there must be an element of pressure to like keep that going, but also a mix between that and also making you feel like I must be doing something right because I'm doing this and this is happening and I get to do this or whatever. Like, how does it work for you?
How does it work for me? Honestly, I don't think about it. I think it's just, honestly, I think about so many things throughout the whole day, when I'm writing this and that, or what I'm going to do, if I'm looking for a new house, this and that and the other, that I don't have time to think about stuff that I've achieved, if you know what I mean. Like, something really crazy happened to me. I wrote a song for a German movie.
Yeah.
And it's been on one of my goal lists or dream lists to write a song for a movie. It's like one of the things I most wanted to do.
I thought you were going to say write a song for a German movie. I was like, wow, that's very specific.
No, it's just a movie in general. It's like one of my goals.
Yeah, cool.
So when that happened, and then the movie, it was I didn't know which movie it was and everything, and it was a huge movie about Steven Zweig's life. So he's the writer, and then I got to go to the premiere, and the president was there, and all this is happening. I'm like, where am I? Is this me? And then my name appears on the screen, and I was like, nah, whatever. That's not me.
That's crazy. So you always have to pinch yourself.
I do. I mean, I honestly don't believe it. I just want to keep doing this. So I have so much fun doing what I do that if anything comes on, I always like, great, but I'm still going to want to play,
Wow, it's so nice that you're so down to earth about it.
Thank you.
So in terms of like playing live in London, do you have a favourite venue that you played?
I do have one venue. I have one venue that I haven't played at yet, but I really want to. And another venue that I played at that I love just because of the fact that my biggest idols played there. So it was the Troubadour.
Nice.
I got invited by Will Perdue and Liza Beck, are two amazing London-based musicians. Yeah. And they invited me to perform because they were, releasing their EP. And it was just crazy for me to be on that stage where Led Zeppelin used to jam and Bob Dylan played there for the first time. Yeah. And even Jimi Hendrix used to jam there, so it's insane.
Did you kind of walk in there and think, if these walls could tell stories?
Yes. I was like a little kid in a candy shop. You have no idea. I was just there like, wow, I can't believe they played here. I'm going to play on the same stage. It's crazy.
And do you have like any prerequisites that you have to do before you jump on stage?
Well, because I had a repetitive strain injury, I have to be very, very careful with this. I do a little bit of physio before I go on stage, and I stretch a lot and just warm up my voice, basically.
Cool. And what about dream collaborations? If you could collaborate with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Wow. Well, so many people, but one of them would be one of my biggest vocal influences, but unfortunately he passed away last year, which is Chris Cornell.
Yeah, amazing.
Just because he's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'd say right now, probably Addie Solomon, because I've been listening to a lot of Addie Solomon. He's really great.
Yeah.
And Jamie Cullum, obviously. So.
Cool, nice. So we'd have this amazing show with Jamie Cullum, Addie Solomon, and you. If that happens, can you let me know? Because I'd love to come down.
Really? Wow, I definitely will let you know if that happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Emma.
If we want to find out more about you, where can we go?
You can go to my website, which is www.ruvmusic.com, and you can sign up to my mailing list where you'll get free tracks and awesome stuff like that. And on my Instagram as well, which is RuV Music, so RUV Music. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Saturday-o. Salts on my skin, wind in my hair, red locks, summer breeze burning the air. I feel like being free. I feel like falling in love. It feels like summer again. Heaven shines from above. No, it's these summer days that I've been waiting for. Can you feel the blaze calling out for more? No, I just can't deny the fire inside. Do you feel it too? Calling out for you. So did I, send da 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 wet da 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 da. So but a day da 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 da. So but a day da da da. So but a day da da da. Ocean tickles my feet, skies as clear as the sea. Golden blue, gently meet, waves whisper to me. Said I've got a feeling that today will be great. I know that I can no longer wait. The heat is clouding my head. Time I kept myself there. What's the use of all this strain? No, no, no. It's these summer days that I've been waiting for. Can you feel the blaze calling out for more? No, I just can't deny the fire inside. Do you feel it too? Calling out for you. Scent of your smile making me wild. Fireworks explode when you get so close. I feel the sun on your skin, the freedom in your soul. The waves are pulling me in, begging me to lose of desire, begging to be met. No, no, it's these summer days that I've been waiting for. Can you feel the blaze calling out for more? No, I just can't deny the fire inside. Do you feel it too? Calling out for you. No, it's these summer days that I've been waiting for. They're calling out for more. No, I just can't deny fire inside. Do you feel it too? Calling out for you. No, it's these summer days that I've been waiting for. Can you feel the blaze calling out for more? No, I just can't deny the fire inside. Do you feel it too? Calling out for you.